All right, welcome to the Jeremy and Andy Talk Movies podcast.
Where everything has
I'm
gone
Jeremy.
totally smooth and exactly like we want it.
Just like
Yeah,
always.
and I'm Andy.
Yeah. So this is a Thursday night recording, and technical difficulties but you know what? We just keep rolling with it, man.
Oh my gosh, you're a
We
saint.
do what we got to do to keep the podcast going.
You're so patient with me.
So,
I am old and out of touch with technology, and you are just as patient as can be.
hey, that's all right. We do what we got to do.
We do.
So Andy, always just good to get on here and talk about movies. And I think today we've just got several movies that we've had the opportunity to see that we haven't had a chance to talk about. So
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a little more of a casual, free-form episode than we've had in a while. Usually we just we've got our movie, we've got our rhythm, and but today I'm like, you know what? Let's just have a conversation like like is the roots of this podcast.
It is.
Where we just talk
Like we used to before we were famous.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to start we're talking a little bit about Caught Stealing,
Yeah.
which is a new movie from Darren Aronofsky, which is going to be part of the conversation for sure of what we're going to say about this movie. The whole lead up to this movie, Andy, I kept saying it just does not look like a Darren Aronofsky movie. So how is the advertising tricking us, right?
Yeah.
Like I kept thinking when I go sit and watch this movie, it's got to be something totally different than whatever they're making it look like, because he just does artsy stuff. This looks like popcorn mainstream stuff. And so it just didn't make sense. But it honestly, it never was as weird as I thought it would be. And it was kind of like, oh, Darren Aronofsky's actually just trying to make like a normal blockbustery type movie.
He is. It's what a world we live in, man. Like to go from Requiem for a Dream back in the day to this.
Yeah. Also just kind of wild that Requiem for a Dream was a long time ago, and he's made a bunch of movies and even some successful ones, and yet that's pretty much what everyone still describes him as. Darren Aronofsky, he's the Requiem for a Dream guy.
Yeah, yeah. That and I guess that and Black Swan are probably the two that he gets the most.
Yeah, I suppose so. But yeah, I mean, just for people who don't know, he also did The Wrestler, which was another critically acclaimed one. He did The Whale. A lot of times the people in his movies get a lot of attention too. That was the case for both The Wrestler and The Whale.
Did he do The Fountain?
I think.
Didn't he do that?
I
think
remember.
he did.
That sounds right.
I think he did.
It sounds right.
Yeah, it was a miss, but he did it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like when you list the movies that we just listed, and then you've got Caught Stealing, which when I walked out, I basically said, okay, so that was Aronofsky being like, could I make Snatch?
Mm-hmm.
Was essentially what it was. Yeah. And we could talk about the degree to which that was successful. So I guess I'll just throw it to you. Like, Andy, did you like the movie?
It just didn't work for me. And I really hate that. I like Austin Butler, but I keep crapping on his movies on here because I didn't like Bike Riders either. It all goes back to what we talk about on here a lot, Jeremy, and that's tone. And the tone of this movie was just way off to me. And I don't want to get into it yet because we'll save it for spoilers, but there's just also a death in this movie that really derailed the movie for me. I'll say this, it didn't not work. It wasn't Austin Butler. I thought Austin Butler was awesome in this movie. He's a star. He is great. He is so convincing in everything he does, whether it's Elvis or same with Bike Riders. I didn't love that movie, but I had no problem with Austin Butler, and I thought he was phenomenal in this movie. It was all about the tone to me.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, I've had the same takeaway. I thought Butler was really good. I thought there was like really good parts of this movie. Like it's like all the ingredients were there, and even Darren Aronofsky. I don't want to just knock him because I think he's talented and he did a lot of things in this that kind of showed his talent. It's just he's not in his wheelhouse here, and that was very evident.
It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and it just it didn't all come together. And this was also somehow like the longest hour and 47 minute movie of all time. Like I just felt like it never found a pace or a rhythm and maintained it.
Yeah, you're right. a lot was given away by the previews
A
too.
ton.
Like you kind of knew like the rhythm of the whole movie, right? So I mean, like the rhythm of the movie. I mean, you kind of knew the main beats of the movie, and so while you're watching it unfold, you're kind of just waiting for, well, I know what the next beat is, and I know what the next beat
Yeah.
is, um, and yeah, you're right about the tone. So the tone, what was so weird about it is I think because Aronofsky is usually he does a lot of just heavier
Yeah.
films. His films are usually pretty weighty, pretty dark, and it was like he was trying to go light, and he just doesn't have that
He
gear.
doesn't, and it was just it was to me it was the way it was interspersed. Like it'd be like Austin Butler would do some kind of like kind of funny physical comedy or something like that, but then it would be like these mafia guys like holding him down and ripping his staples out with pliers, and you're just like like that's just really mean and gross and nasty. And then again, then you'd get like Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio, which is kind of out of like a I don't know, like a screwball comedy almost, and there's just a lot of ingredients all over the place, and yeah, it just didn't all come together for me.
Yeah. Uh, there's like they were definitely going for like a bunch of quirky characters again, Snatch being the movie that just came to mind,
Mm-hmm.
but most of them just really weren't like that
They weren't
interesting. I don't think. I mean, again, Butler's character is supposed to be kind of the straight guy, and he was just the most interesting
by
character in the
far.
movie, and that's not supposed to happen when you're the straight guy of the
By
movie.
far. Yeah, they really missed the boat. This was not like like Tarantino or someone can populate his movies with these fascinating side characters, and you may only get 5 or 10 minutes of them, but you can't stop thinking about them. And nobody else in this movie. I mean, the two most interesting people by far to me were Butler and Zoe Kravitz. And all these other side
Yeah,
characters just didn't get the job done. And
yeah.
the dang cat.
I'll
Ugh, too much cat.
cat. Yeah. I mean, I'll give some credit to the guy who's the guy that played the Mohawk
Oh,
neighbor, the kind of
Matt
Matt Smith.
yeah.
The thing that I'll give credit for that is, one, I think he is a talented actor, but that is the one thing that I think the previews didn't give away is it really made it look like in the previews he was just a bad seed and he set up Austin Butler to like be his fall guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then the movie it's like, oh no, he actually just
He's just kind of an
it
idiot.
kind of was all a misunderstanding. He actually, yeah, did go see his dad, which you think is not going to be the case. He got the tattoo,
Yeah.
like, and so like him being kind of like a bumbling goofball who actually was freaking out himself and in over his
Yeah.
head. It was a nice little twist. It just at that point, you're right. Like I don't know how long it was into the movie. It felt 3 hours into the movie before that revelation,
Yeah.
and it was just hard to care.
It was.
It was
It
hard
was
to care.
hard to care. And God bless Austin Butler. I mean, he just straps this movie to his back and he has given it his all to make it work.
Yeah. So it makes me sad to say, because again, I said I don't want to sound like I'm knocking Aronofsky, because I mean, good for him for trying something different. He could have just said, I've got this lane and I'm too artsy to do something mainstream like
Yeah.
this. So I kind of commend him for
I do
trying.
too.
But I can't help but think like, could this movie have worked if it was just somebody else directing?
Yeah, if he didn't
And-
get in his own way a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
movies like this, one thing I kept thinking, like movies like this, kind of like this, it's kind of its own genre, like the everything goes wrong type of movie. Like Scorsese did one back in the 80s called After Hours. Snatched. Kind of these movies of just like eccentric characters and just like, oh man, one crazy adventure onto the next. They're so dependent on having a forward momentum. And like I said, this movie just was too much stop and start, or like you'd really get going, and then Austin Butler would have one of these flashbacks to when he was in high school and got in a car wreck, and that just wasn't interesting at all. And that was, just kind of killed the momentum, and yeah, it just I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it a lot, and it just couldn't get there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a thing that's happening, I think, actually more frequently now, that this movie does, where it's trying to be so many things. And we've talked about it. It's actually really happening in the prestige TV that's so popular these days. Is it's the melding of all the genres. So you get shows like, take a Ted Lasso, for example, where they're like, we're this goofball comedy, but we also have like these really emotional, heartfelt moments, and we talk about like trauma and panic attacks and things like that,
Yeah.
and we can blend it all together. And that's one example, but all shows seem to be trying to do things like that, and movies can do the same thing. And there's another movie I watched recently that I don't know if you had a chance to watch it yet, called Eenie Meenie, and
Yeah.
good or bad, it just had a lot in common with Caught Stealing.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted you to see it so I could talk about that. Like, it's kind of a similar thing where like it tries to have its cake and eat it too. It tries to be like fun, lighthearted comedy, and then it has these like really heavy moments, and you're like, what? It's whiplash how it takes you back and forth. And so the thing is when it works, it is actually really good. When people can pull it off, and you can have these kind of blending of genres, and you can be like having fun and then have an emotional moment the next moment, that is the best. But it's so hard to do, and when you don't get it right, it's just rough.
That's kind of my big takeaway, is like, it just makes you realize how special it is when someone does pull it off. And my mind goes to like Tarantino, like how he can do it, like Pulp Fiction. Like, he can tell, it's kind of the same, sort of the same thing, like just these crazy characters in this wacky situation, but like, he is so good at interspersing, the comedy and the dialogue and the sudden violence and the menace and all this stuff. And it just really makes you realize how special that is when people can pull it off.
Absolutely right. So you did okay. I just wanted to give you a chance to talk about it. You said you thought the two good performances were Butler and Kravitz. Anything particular you want to say about Kravitz in this movie?
She just has a charisma. Like, she's strange enough to be interesting. Like,
Yeah.
like she pulls it off. I don't know. I don't mean to be vague, but it's like she just kind of has that X factor, where it's like, just she carries a weight and a presence on screen. And I mean, do you want me to go ahead and get into the big spoiler, or do you want to hold off on that?
Yeah, we might as well.
So this is a big spoiler, so don't listen if you want. But she just dies, like, I don't know, 45% into the movie maybe, and that just completely sucked the life out of the movie to me. Sometimes a movie death can be used effectively to forward the plot, or it's like, man, now I really want to see the character, whose loved one was killed, get revenge. And to me, this was just like, oh, well, that sucks, because her and Butler were by far the most interesting part of this movie. And the movie just, maybe it's just me. Like, I had a really hard time getting back on board with this movie after that. It didn't work as a shock to me. It just worked as like oh, well, that's annoying and frustrating.
Yeah. I don't know that I had that strong of a reaction to it, but I mean, yeah, I think she's good. I wonder if they just thought there's nothing else for her character to do in this movie. Like, it had almost gotten to the point where I started to think, oh no, is she going to be the wet blanket girlfriend a little bit? And then the fact that they killed her, I was like, well, that is a bummer, but at least they didn't have her the whole time, just as he's going through all this, being like you need to be responsible, you need to, like, doing all that. And so, I don't know. It was hard to see that they were going to do right by her character anyways, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
And that's totally fair. I think, to me, though, it's like a big part of the end of this movie, since we're into spoilers, is like, Austin Butler does get away, and he kind of ends up, I don't know where he is, some beach, island, Mexico, I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be kind of like, okay, like, man, this guy's finally getting, he's getting a break.
Something's finally going his way.
And it's like, well, I would have just incorporated the girl into it, like, just write. I mean, you can write her out of the movie. She's like, hey, I'm out of here while you're dealing with all this crazy stuff, and then have her show back up. Like, if you're going to try and give us this happy ending, which they kind of do go for, like, I would have just rather her been involved. And again, like I say, that maybe is just personal, but the death just did not work for me, I guess, ultimately, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad,
I don't regret seeing it. I mean, I'm glad I saw it. I want to support Austin Butler, but just didn't all come together.
It's I wouldn't go so far as to say it's just an outright bad
No,
movie,
I wouldn't either.
but it's just not good. It's kind of just it's just sort of there in existence.
I could see it possibly making an appearance on my top 5 mid movies of the year. I hope not. I mean, I hope it doesn't. I hope it does end up being a little bit better than that. But yeah, it was kind of a drag. And then like, just a really weird, pointless cameo at the very end when you find out who his mom is. Like, that did nothing for me. That was odd.
It was
Yeah,
strange.
I won't even
Yeah.
spoil that. I'll, if you want to see it, see it. But that
Yeah.
was weird.
Yeah. I will. I did want to go back to the Crouch thing just because when you're talking about her performance, it didn't make me realize that was the one thing I thought that Aronofsky did a little strange was he did shoot her from some like weird angles sometimes, like really close to her
Mm-hmm.
face, slightly weird angles, and I'm like, this is a weird choice for this
Yeah,
movie, like
yeah.
shooting this character while they're talking like that close,
He
and I don't know, it's
he
just
just
weird.
can't help but be super artsy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you get the sense that he enters the scene and he's one of those guys that's like, but what's at the core of the scene? What are we trying to communicate with our camera angles
Mm-hmm.
and all that? And you're like, dude,
Just
just let the things that are happening
yeah,
be
it's
the
like it's
yeah.
just Austin Butler trying to unclog a toilet, man. Just let it be. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh yeah. So another movie, I think we're good on that one unless
I'm
you had
good.
any other
I'm good.
thoughts,
There.
but
I don't have a whole lot else to say.
this is why this is the episode of the pod it is. We got a bunch of movies that we probably don't have full
And
episode
we're not just
things to talk about,
passionate about.
but we just want to throw out some general thoughts about. So the next movie we're going to talk about is Honey
Mm-hmm.
Don't, which is it's Joel Cohen,
Is it
right?
Joel?
It's one of the Cohen
It's
brothers. I
Ethan,
want to
isn't
say it's
it?
Joel
No,
Cohen.
I don't know.
Or is it Ethan?
I can find
Oh
out.
my gosh, I literally just had it pulled up
You're pro-
and I could tell you in just
you're
a
smarter
second.
than I am. You're usually right.
It's Ethan
Okay.
Cohen. No, it's definitely you're definitely better with movie stuff. So, Ethan Cohen. My bad, Joel. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that because it's gonna be really offensive when I start talking more about this movie.
Amen.
Uh, Andy, last year, Driveway Dolls is one of my top five worst of the
Mm-hmm.
year, and this is Ethan Cohen returning again with his partner, writing this movie with him, Trisha Cook, I believe is her
Mm-hmm.
name, and so just the same team that's back. Margaret Qualley starring in both movies. I think when a Cohen brother puts out a casting call for a movie, he just still has that clout that everybody's like, sure, I'm
Yeah.
in. I think I said this about Driveway Dolls. I think they're just like, I'm in, script
You
unseen.
did say that. Yeah.
And maybe they should have been like, let's see a
Script
script.
needs to be seen.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So Andy, what did you think of Honey
I
Down?
hated this movie, Jeremy. This movie is trash. And then to make my pain even worse, I missed Drive Away Dolls last year, so I wanted to watch that before watching Honey Don't. So I got the double whammy. Why he is insistent on making these movies and he wants to do another one. He wants to make it like a trilogy of these like super weird noir. These movies are trash, Jeremy.
They are so
They're
bad.
so bad.
Honey Don't Horrible. What is it? What is this
It's
movie?
stupid.
I mean, like, I was literally watching it and just going like, what are they even going for? I mean, like, I kind of know what they're going for. This like old school
Pulp,
like
trash
throwback
noir.
to but I'm like, okay, so let's. I literally, I'm glad I'm not writing descriptions of the plots for these
No.
for these movies because I wouldn't even know how to describe it. I know you were excited to see Chris Evans because when Chris Evans plays kind of like, totally against type,
He does a pretty
against
good
some
job,
crazy,
yeah.
and watch this movie and it's like not that he's bad, but I'm just like, what a waste of
Yeah.
Chris Evans in this movie. Like they really just gave him basically one thing to do in this
Yeah.
movie on repeat, and that's
Yeah.
about it.
And yeah, it's like that's all you've got. Like Chris Evans is so good at leaning into being a douchebag. Like just go watch Knives Out. Like he's phenomenal. He can flip that switch so fast, and he can just
yes.
make us smirk. And you're like, somehow he just went from the most likable guy to the most just hateable, punchable guy. And they don't tap into that at all. They're just so insistent on having him in these steamy type of scenes, and it's like, okay, like we've seen it, and then we've seen it again, and then we've seen it again, and it's stupid. This movie is awful.
It is stupid. This movie is also just like it's just a collection of random stuff
It
happening.
is.
I was sitting there going like, okay, so when am I going to understand what the plot even is?
Yeah.
Like what I'm trying to, and it's ultimately there's like no plot. And I think there's part of them that's trying to tap into that Big Lebowski thing where the Big Lebowski, the Coen brothers said they wanted to make a movie that's plot was impossible to follow, but ultimately inconsequential.
Sure.
Like it doesn't really matter. The plot's just kind of, it's almost part of the joke that there's no idea, you have no idea what's going on. but they inhabited that movie with such like rich, colorful, like fun characters,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just enjoying this weird, crazy adventure that they're on, I
Yeah.
guess. And in this movie, it's like things just aren't happening. The characters aren't that interesting, and it's just one random thing after another. And again, tonally, kind of all over the
Yeah.
place because it's like goofball stuff half the time, and then it's like it goes from like goofball comedy, which is the movie that Charlie Day's in, by the way.
Yeah. He's in
like
his
this
own thing.
really, and then all of a sudden it goes from that to really violent,
Really violent.
to
Just kind of nasty and
really, really sexual.
Yeah,
I
there's no
guess
other
is the
way
only
to say
to
it. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it just
Yeah.
is.
And so yeah, exactly. So then by the time you get to the end when they give you the reveal of who's been doing all this, I don't know that I've ever cared less about a big reveal in a movie. Like, just I could not possibly have cared less. And then
no.
you're just kind of left
It is-
feeling
yeah.
sorry for the person who is behind it all, because I like that person, you know, and it's just like, okay, that was horrible and stupid, and it just fell flat.
Yeah. The only thing that this movie did right, Andy, is that it was an hour and 28
Oh,
minutes.
thank goodness.
That's
Thank goodness. I didn't want to. You know, it's really kind of like I said last year with Kindness of Kindness, where it's like I don't want to spend one more second with anybody in this movie.
I know. Speaking of that, before Honey Don't, I saw the preview for
Yorgos's new
Yorgos's
movie.
next film, and I was like, I don't know.
Come on, man. We know you're weird, buddy. And like you don't have you've done everything you possibly can to prove that point. And holy cow, Emma Stone is just determined to only do these weird artsy movies now.
I know. I really wonder if Yorgos Lanthimos is like somehow he's like a cult leader or something, man.
Dude.
The people who work with him just want to keep working with him because it's Jesse Plemons
I
again
know.
with him too, and
And
like,
this is Emma Stone's third movie in a
I don't
row
know.
with him. Or I mean,
Yeah.
I guess she was in Eddington and whatever, but yeah, it's like holy crap.
well, she was in The Favorite, which she did. I mean, she's done a bunch of
She
his
has.
movies now.
She has.
It's just a lot.
Yeah, but yeah,
So,
Honey Don't.
It's weird.
Yeah, Honey Don't. I mean, this movie is.
I know that one.
awful.
They just set everybody up with that title. You know, Honey Don't. Should I see it? Honey
Don't. I can definitely see this making an appearance on my top 5 of the worst.
Yeah. Just the last thing I want to say about it is it's sad because Ethan Coen obviously still has some talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie looks good
It does.
as far as like it's shot well.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's got really talented people in it. He just like he's got to stop writing with Trisha Cook. Like it's just
Dude, and like
they're not writing interesting stories.
what? And
I don't know.
I don't know either, and I don't understand why he's so determined to do this kind of movie in back-to-back years. Like this very specific kind of movie. Like I don't know what it is, and like Driveway Dolls failed miserably. It made no money. Honey Don't open to $3 million. Like these movies are not interesting to people clearly, and he is.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man, at all.
I would just genuinely like to know, like, if I watch this movie with them, like, what are the moments that they thought, like, what reactions were they going for at certain parts? You know, like, when something happened and they're like, cracking up, and they think the scene's hilarious, and I'm like, I didn't even know this scene was supposed to be funny.
Oh yeah,
because I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I was trying to think like if I laughed during this movie, and I don't know that I did.
I laughed one time.
Did you?
Charlie
Oh,
Day
yeah,
didn't need to
yeah.
laugh. But about the second time he brought up the coroner confirming that the girl was dead, and he's like, I remember you being on the fence about that.
Yes, okay, fair enough.
That was the one laugh.
Fair enough. Bad movie. Really, really
Yeah.
bad movie.
So bad.
Yeah.
Andy, you also saw The Naked Gun, and we've not had a chance to talk about that. I have not seen The Naked Gun, but I have just been waiting anxiously to hear more thoughts from you on The Naked Gun, because it's a movie that I've almost seen about a record number of times. I have almost seen The Naked Gun about a dozen times, and I just could never pull the trigger.
Dude, it's so tough. I think I told you, like, just private, like, off camera, I was like, it's so hard to criticize, because my criticism, is, like, this movie is so juvenile and stupid, but, like,
And yet
that's the point of the movie. So that's not really a fair criticism at all. And man, if you could win an Oscar just based on like how committed you are, Liam Neeson would be the front runner. Like it's incredible, like how willing he is to just be stupid and everything. I don't know, man. It's barely even a movie. It's like also an hour and like 25 or 26 minutes. And it literally is like they just rolled the camera and were like, everyone just literally do whatever you want. You know? Like, it's bad, but that I don't mean that to be as insulting as it sounds like I mean it to be. I mean, I definitely chuckled a couple
Mm-hmm.
times. I was kind of just in awe the whole time that they got Liam Neeson to do this. Um, I don't know, man. It just, I don't regret seeing it. It's not going to pop up on any list we will do at the end of the year, which maybe is the best compliment. Because I was thinking, like, going to see it, I was like, it's very possible this ends up on my worst of the year. I don't think I can do that to this movie because, like, number one, this movie wouldn't care if it was on my worst of the year list, you know? So I don't know, man. It was ridiculous, but that was the point of it. And I giggled a couple times, and Liam Neeson is all in. Like, he is so in. So it's almost kind of admirable how committed he is.
All right. I mean, it's one of those ones I'm like, eventually I will
Yeah.
see. At some point, I probably now, when it comes to whatever streaming
Yeah.
service, is when I'll finally watch it. That's really what it feels like to me. It feels like the type of movie that I'll probably have to watch in more than one
You
sitting,
might. You
like,
might.
you know,
Yeah.
20 minutes at a time or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, it's
Uh,
from the one of the guy that directed it is one of the guys from The Lonely Island, not Andy Samberg, one of the other guys. I mean, that
yeah.
probably tells you everything you need to know about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it
Yeah.
does. And then you saw that same night that you saw Naked Gun, you saw Eddington.
Oh,
And we've not talked about Eddington on the pod, so we've got to just do it a little bit. Um, Eddington is what am I? How do you describe Eddington? So Eddington is like the opposite of caught stealing,
hmm
and that caught stealing is like a guy trying to make something lighthearted and like poppy, and Eddington is a guy trying to make the most profound movie ever made, and instead makes a boring slog of a movie,
amen.
and nobody came across good in it.
Everyone lost. Boring slog is an amazing definition. I'm so bummed by this because Ari or Ari, however you say his name, I'm gonna say Ari. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
Ari Aster. He came out hot, man. Hereditary and Midsummer.
Midsommar. Yeah,
Midsommar. I just say Midsummer.
I don't know
I'm
how you
not
say
fancy
it.
enough to
Yeah,
say Midsommar. Two movies that are they are tough watches. I'll just say that. But two movies that I could really admire the originality and the dread. There's just a lot of things about him I admired. And then he did
yeah.
Beau is Afraid, which is a absolute nightmare of a movie to watch. It's awful. And now this is just terrible. And I'm like, dude, you were doing just fine. Like, what is happening? I hated this movie so much.
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away by how much certain critics like it. And I'm like, this, you know what this reminds me? It reminds me of like that art piece that you see, like, the painting that looks like a kindergartner could have done it. And people
It's
are
a
like, this is so
masterpiece.
great and profound. And I'm like, that's what this is to me as a movie.
Mhm.
And I'm like, there's no way. You're not seeing anything special in this. You just like want to be in on, like, you don't get it. So you're
You
pretending
think
it's
you're
deep. That's what I feel
you're
like.
saying what you think you're supposed to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is not, no, this isn't profound. Like, it it does the thing where like it's kind of about a lot of things, like COVID's a storyline in the movie, and there's a lot of talk about masks. It never actually said anything. I don't think. I don't think it really has a perspective. But by like bringing it up and like not really taking a stance, it's like it's being like somehow coy and insightful. I don't know.
It's
It's just
I mean, watching this movie was about as fun as living through COVID.
yeah,
Like
it really was.
I was comparing Honey Don't to Kinds of Kindness, or I think I was, wasn't I? This movie
Yeah,
is like Kinds of Kindness, where it's like I hate
because it was
it was
long.
so long. I hated everyone in the movie, like the characters in the movie. It's filled with great actors, but it's just like I
Yeah.
hated it. And the second this movie ended, I was like, I will never watch this movie again for as long as I live. Like you couldn't pay me to go to watch this movie again.
I think there was a point in the theater where I literally said out loud, late in the movie just end?
Dude.
Like, can we just land the
This
plane?
movie goes on.
I'm just waiting for the credits so I can
This
leave.
movie goes on forever. Someone did leave in my theater. Like it was me and maybe like two other people, and one person made it about an hour. I would estimate like an hour and a half into the movie, and you could tell like the way they got up and walked out. It was very much like nope, I'm done. Like I'm done with this.
Well, because the ending, I mean, who cares about spoilers in this one, feels so extra and unnecessary.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it gets to a point where it feels like it should be over, and then it's like, how about we give an extra, like, I don't know how long it actually was, 10 minutes of Joaquin Phoenix just being kind of a vegetable.
Dude.
And you're like, why are we doing
Dude.
this? Like,
I'm really starting to turn on Joaquin Phoenix.
I know.
I mean, after Joker, Folie à Deux, and this, I'm like, buddy, just...
Well, and before that was I mean, Napoleon and Beau is Afraid is like, when's the last time that dude did an actual, like, enjoyable movie?
Yeah, like, okay, man, you're miserable. I'm really sorry about that, but you don't have to take it out on all of us.
Yeah, and man, another movie that, like, wastes other good. I mean,
It's
like,
an amazing cast.
Emma Stone and Austin Butler have nothing to do in this movie.
Gonna say,
their plot line is so unnecessary.
They are so wasted in this movie. Unbelievable that you have Emma Stone and Austin Butler in a movie together, and you give them nothing to do. Like, I usually I'm not one for like I'm gonna support the rom-com, but it's like you want to pull Emma Stone and Austin Butler aside and be like, guys, go do a rom-com. Like, just go do a rom-com. It'll probably make $200 million, and it'll be more enjoyable than what you guys have been doing lately.
Yeah, I don't know this about Butler, but he strikes me as the type of guy. And looking at his filmography, he strikes me as the type of guy that's doing the, like, I want to work with these specific directors type
and
thing.
And I get it, man.
And so it's usually the right decision, but, like, man, these directors are not doing him favors back.
They're not. It's almost like he's trying to take the Leo DiCaprio route of, like, I could be doing like these terrible rom-coms, but I want to do like art. And it just, again, kind of like you know, we were talking about earlier with Aronofsky trying to blend these genres. It's just not as easy as it seems. Like DiCaprio's special, he can pull it off, and I think Butler's got a lot of the same tools that DiCaprio does. But you're right, the movies he chooses just aren't doing him any favors.
Yeah, and you know, kudos to Butler again, because the nice thing about this movie is, like, he was willing to be. I mean, he is so small in this movie, Eddington. He's like the 10th billed person or something like that, and even that's probably just because his name, not even because the part's that big. And so his willingness to be like, yes, I'll be in this movie just to be in, you know, just to work with this guy, and this very thankless part, that's good, like, humility from an actor, just say, like, I'll take that part. It's just, again, it's not paying off the way that that you would hope.
And it's really too bad, because again, I like Austin Butler, even though it sounds like I don't. Yeah, I hated this movie.
I think, I think if anything's coming through in this episode, it's that we're so high on Austin Butler, we think he's coming out okay through a lot of bad movies.
He'll be fine.
Like, despite bad movies, we're still like, he'll be good.
Be fine. He'll be fine.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, if you were his manager, let's just say, or his agent or something, what would you advise Butler to do? Like, next?
It's so tricky, because honestly, normally what I would say in situations like this is like, man, latch on to good directors. And he is.
Yeah.
He's just getting like the worst of these good directors. So I don't know if it's like, man, just power through. Like, keep hitching your wagon to these good directors, and it will pay off for you. I don't know, like, because I say, like, go do a rom-com, and I kind of just say that in jest. I don't know that that's what he should do, but I don't know. I would give it a couple more tries of doing these, you know, movies with good directors, and hope it works out for him. The dude has just got way too much talent and charisma for it to not break through eventually. I just hope it happens before it's like, man, he's just done too many bombs for me to care about now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a right role for him somewhere. That when he's in it, we'll all know when it happens, and we'll be like, that's the one we've been waiting for Butler.
He's a talented guy.
it's hard. I mean, we talked about this a lot with Tom Hardy, who we think is like super talented,
Hmm.
but like he's had a hard time. You know, we talked about finding the right roles for him, um, and you know, that's such an important thing in a career that think people underestimate. Like you can have the talent, you can have the looks, you have everything, but if you don't have the right part to match all
Yeah,
that, it doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't. And I know it's easier said than done. Otherwise, everybody would do it. You know, that's why there's only one DiCaprio or one Tom Cruise or whatever. But I just, man, I
Mm.
want Austin Butler to get there so bad because he's really enjoyable up on the screen. Like I said, he just has that charisma and stuff. But yeah, this movie is such a waste of him. Like unbelievable. This movie just makes me mad almost.
No, Eddington makes me
Yeah.
so mad. Uh, it, I'm gonna be really annoyed if Eddington ends up like Oscar nominated. I actually, the sad thing is, I think there's a chance because this has not been a movie or year heavy with like obvious Oscar
Hmm.
nominees. Now, granted, I think it's been a really great year, but if I'm thinking of like who is the Academy going to recognize, there's not a lot
Dude.
of options, which is good news for a movie like Sinners, which in a lot of years
Hmm.
maybe wouldn't get the recognition we
Yeah,
think, but I think it's going to benefit
I
from
think
that.
so too.
But I could see Eddington being like,
Dude,
those critics being like, this is one of the best of the year. I could see him saying it.
I hope not. It's not gonna. I can promise you, it's got a place on one of my lists, and it's not the best of the year list.
I am going to be right there with
Yeah,
you. I have a hard time imagining that there could be 5 movies pushing it out of my worst of the year
same. I
list.
have. I feel the exact same way.
Yeah. Uh, Andy, this weekend, actually, it's available now. We finally get the Spike Lee movie with Denzel
Yeah,
Washington, highest to
yeah.
lowest. So I'm looking forward to watching
Hmm.
that. Um, what else coming out soon are we looking forward to?
Tomorrow I'm going to see The Conjuring, the new Conjuring movie.
Okay.
I don't know that I have a lot of expectations for it. I'm a sucker for haunted house stuff. I've talked about it a
Yeah.
bazillion times. Um, I think whether it ends up being good or not. Thankfully, they are presenting it like as the last of the Conjuring movies, and that's the right call. I have enjoyed them. The Conjuring movies have carved out a really good. They really know, like they depend a lot on jump scares, but they know how to do them well.
Mm.
Like they know how to set up a scary scenario and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Um, I did watch the Samara Weaving movie that you recommended.
Oh,
I
you
did.
did?
Yeah, I
Okay. All
watched
right.
it.
Well, now we got to go into that. I got to get your thoughts. So, what'd you think of Eeny Meeny?
Dude, this is gonna be the most negative I've ever been on here. I thought it was okay. And again, I sound like a broken record. Tone. Man, it's all
Yeah,
about the
it's
tone.
so. It reminded me so much of Caught
Yeah.
Stealing, where I was like, "There's a lot of good ingredients,
Hmm.
but man, they're kind of all over the
It is
place."
all over the place. Now, I will say, I am team Samara Weaving.
I am
We
too.
talked about it. We both agreed, like, man, I would have nominated her for, I think we did, didn't we? In our Oscars that year, we nominated her for Ready or Not. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I think
she's
so.
incredible. Like she cameoed in Scream 6, and she's another one. I'm saying this a lot tonight, but it's like she's another one of these people that just has like a presence. Like she's kind of got that X factor, and she's gonna be just fine too, I think. But too all over the place for me.
It was. I thought the guy that played her
Yeah.
boyfriend in the movie, or yeah, I thought he was really
Hmm.
good because he is playing just a total idiot goober. And it took a while. I was like, "This guy's the worst. Can we just stop? Get
You
him out of
kind
the
of
movie?"
warm up
And
to
it
him.
kind of, you kind of warm up to him. And I'm like, I literally, I was watching it with my brother. I looked at him at one point. I said, "How did they
I
do
know.
that, Jordan? How did they make me like this guy when I
Hmm.
thought there's no way I'm gonna like this guy?" But man, they do the stuff like so. He does so many like goofball things that does make you love him. He's always saying the wrong thing at the
Uh-huh.
wrong time, and but even like the scene at the bar where he hits the song and he starts just like dancing around like he's such a
He is,
goober.
and maybe it's stuff like that that finally does win you over, where you're just like, all right,
Yeah,
man, you win. Like I like you now.
yeah, and then the radical.
Rat,
We're gonna go right into spoilers here. The
go
radical
for it.
ending where he shoots. You think like you're finally getting kind of like the happy ending. Like they've kind of worked it out. He seemed like he had a breakthrough where he's not gonna be such the idiot anymore. She's pregnant with his child. I mean, like it would kind of fit what felt like the tone of the movie at that point to be like, and they're going to work it out. And then they go to do their final like drop off, and he shoots the guys they go to meet, and he's like, "This is our chance. We'll get away with the money." And she's like, "We can't do that." And then he's like, "Oh, I screwed up again," and gets all emotional, and she has to shoot him.
Yeah.
And you're just like, "Holy crap!" And this is like really heavy all of a sudden. This is really dark all of a sudden, and once again, that whiplash we were talking about, the tonal shift, and it's like, I want to respect the decision that they're willing to go there, but man, could you have like set it up a little more, prepared me for it a little more, let me know that's what I'm getting into. I don't know. It's rough.
I agree, and I don't want anyone to listen to this and think that like I don't like movies that have tonal shifts, because I do. I like a lot of movies. I could name some, but it's just like, just so happens to be that this week we're tackling several where that tonal shift just does not work. Like, and I don't know what the difference is. Like, I don't know if it's just quality of director or quality of screenplay. I don't know, but they just don't work in these movies we're talking about this week.
Yeah. I do want to give Eeny Meeny credit for the very novel idea of making Andy Garcia a bad guy.
Yeah.
Just never seen it before.
Thank goodness we finally went down that path. Good grief.
I saw his name in the credits, and I said, "Well, I know who the bad guy is."
No kidding, man. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I probably, trying to think, I maybe like it the most of all these movies we're tackling this week.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing, is like, Eeny Meeny wasn't bad. Again, it exists in that, like, oh, that's a movie. And like, I think I like it even a little more than like Caught Stealing or something like that. Because there was moments that were like genuinely pretty funny. I think the movie was at its best when it was being funny.
I think so too.
I'm not gonna go into details about the location, but there was a scene in an office between Samara Weaving and the one guy that just had a lot of funny dialogue.
It did.
And like, yeah,
and she can pull this stuff off, man. Like I said, she's gonna be fine. I think she's got a good future ahead of her.
Yeah, I think she does, and I think again the guy that played
they're good,
her boyfriend in the movie, whose name was his name is Carl Glusman or something like that, Glusman. I think he's a guy to watch.
Yeah, they do a good job.
He had just a lot of charisma on screen.
They did a good job.
Yeah. All right, Andy. We did it. We ran through a lot of movies.
What a night. I delayed us by like an hour because I couldn't figure, like I was having problems, and we just flew through all these movies. What a night.
Yeah.
A lot of tone shifts in our night.
It really was, yeah.
Yeah.
You're so right. But we, unlike a lot of those movies, we ended positive, you know. We got you to that happy ending.
We
so
did.
It's just always fun to talk movies.
It is, and I always say this because, like, ultimately we want to be fun and upbeat and happy, but we want to be true and honest and everything. And I'm not gonna sit and praise these movies that don't deserve it. So,
yeah, I mean, we've certainly had stretches of the podcast where several episodes in a row we were just like singing the praises of movies, and we're like, we don't want to make it sound like
we just like everything.
We just like everything. Yeah. So. You know, what happens? We'll have these ups and downs.
We do.
So.
The right answer is to just go see Jaws again.
It's so true.
Which I may take my own advice. I may do that one more time this weekend.
Well, it's always worth it.
Totally is.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this week and listening to our discussion. And we would love feedback. Love to know what you guys think about these movies. Wouldn't be surprised to hear some people have totally different opinions on Caught Stealing or. And some of these other movies. I would be very shocked to hear anybody likes Honey Don't or Eddington.
I just want to say this. If you are out there listening and you think we are wrong about Eddington, please explain to me. Please explain to me what I'm missing. Like, I'm not even being sarcastic. I want to know. Come tell me. Like, send us a message, do whatever. What are we missing? Because to me that was...
Yeah, it was rough.
It was rough. Yeah.
Yeah. So in just a few days, we'll be back at it again, reviewing Highest to Lowest. Hopefully, just another great Denzel performance is what I'm hoping for.
I hope so too. I can drop some Conjuring thoughts on you too if you want.
You can drop. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I won't see The Conjuring. As much as I've tried to see more horror movies, I've watched 0 Conjuring movies, and so I'm like, I don't feel like I can jump. I can't jump in.
I don't blame you. You're fine. you're
Yeah.
fine.
So, yeah, that'll do it for this week. We will see you guys next
See you
time.
next time.